Where are you putting yourself into more work, into more effort, into more things that you actually don't want to be doing? What are the things that are happening in your life that you're just doing because you're like, I've always done this, but I could actually delegate it. I could automate it. I could delete it. I could get rid of it. I could shift it. I could change it. So this is really the season that I'm in over these next few months specifically, is really systematizing things, getting things off of my plate, and then just making my life simpler so that I can show up and impact as many people as humanly possible, but that I still have a significant amount in my cup to pour from, because that's when I'm at my best. Hello, my love. It's time for you to get ready, because every single thing that you have learned about money, wealth creation, success, and hard work is about to get flipped right on its head. Welcome to the Soul Powered Podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Kiger. I'm a financial advisor turned wealth energetics coach, and I have almost 2 decades experience helping people reach their financial goals. And after all that time of studying the human psychology around money, I learned this: that wealth creation is not just a game of strategy and spreadsheets. It is a game of accessing your soul power. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do during our time together. Here on this podcast, we blend nervous system regulation, spiritual alignment, money energetics, and more so that you can expand your income and your inner peace. This is the podcast where strategy meets soul and your next level expansion begins. This isn't just a podcast. It is quite literally a portal to your next level, and your higher self is inviting you to step into it. So if you're ready to stop hustling for your worth and finally claim it so that you too can make more, save more, and finally live more, then you're in the right place. Let's rise. Hello, my love, and welcome. Today's episode is going to be a bit different because I'm going to be opening up and sharing vulnerably with you some of the shifts and the changes that you can expect in the Rise with Rebecca world if you are a loyal listener, or you're someone who's been in this world for a while, or if you are brand new here. Either way, you're going to meet a new version of me. And this version of me is the version of me that leads by example and leads with her soul. Because I know that most of the women who come into my world, they're just looking for someone that can show them that what they want to go after in life is safe. And that it's safe to follow your soul's path. It's safe to make a lot of money doing it. It's safe to move out of this societal conditioning and programming and all of these things that we've learned our whole lives about hard work and sacrifice and hustle. They just want to see like it's possible. There is someone, or there are people who are living in this way, and therefore that means that I can live in this way too. Because that's actually one of the ways that our nervous system regulates the most, is being around other people who are being successful at what we want to be doing. Because doesn't it just give you like a peace of mind when you're with someone who's like doing, and I don't know how many people that you're surrounding yourself with that are, light years ahead of maybe where you are right now, which is not a bad thing actually. But every time I do that, I'm just like in awe of what they've created. I love learning from people who are light years ahead of me, by the way. Like, because it just shows me I have a light year to go. Like I have light years to go in this life. Like I can keep going to that degree. That's available. Oh shit. Like I'm going after that. Right. And that's the way that I get inspired. And so when I'm around those people, it's like, wow, this is real. This is possible. And someone that I'm standing next to is doing this. So it takes me back to Sedona. I was there with some friends, and my friend lives in Arizona, and I don't want to mention any names because I just want to protect privacy for this one. Okay, so we go to Sedona, and my friend lives a couple hours away from there, and so she goes there fairly often, and she has friends there. So she's like, hey, I really want you to meet my other friend. So the friend that I'm with wants me to meet this other friend. And she's like, she's super spiritual like us. She's amazing. And so we go and we meet this incredible person who took her business from $20,000 a year in her first year in business to $1 million the next year. And now she makes about $1 million a month in the business, right? And that's in a span of maybe 3 to 5 years, I think that she said. So this is really one of those people that, like, when I walked into her house and they ended up taking us on this really cool ATV tour around Sedona. If she's listening, she knows who she is. And if my friend is listening, then she knows who she is too. And I thank you guys so much for that experience. I said, I don't want to divulge too much information because I did not ask permission to share financial statistics of anybody with their name. So, but this was really fascinating. And the moment that I met this person, I was just like, wow, like I'm just enamored at what you've been able to do and create. And it was just so cool. Like I'm standing there like, this is an example of what's next. This is an example of what's possible for me. We're standing out on her deck and there's like a 360-degree view of the absolutely magical red rocks inside of Phoenix or Sedona. And it was just unbelievable. Like just an unbelievable experience that honestly I'll never forget. And the reason I won't forget it is because, first of all, she's the person who introduced me to my Kundalini yoga practice, which has been changing my entire life over the last several months since then. And she's like, I just know what to do. I know what to do in my business. She hasn't signed up for, masterminds or business coaches or anything like that. Like she's just like, I just know what to do and I just do it. And that was one of those moments that stuck with me. Cause I'm like, what do you mean? I'm over here. Like I've been in coaching programs and masterminds and I've been working with coaches for the last 6 years. And I've spent over 6 figures investing in my own personal growth and development. So it's damn near like a master's degree at this point, or a college degree at least, if maybe not a master's at that. But depending on the college, right? But I have spent a ton of time and money investing in myself. And I'm sitting here looking at this person who is like, I just know what to do. Like, you're that connected to spirit that you just know what to do. And so after I met her, I saw what was possible. And it started to kind of retrain my nervous system into realizing that I could be that I could do that I could also just know what to do, right? And I don't have to be looking outside of me anymore. And I think it hit me over the last couple months since my big spiritual awakening in August. And if you haven't listened to that episode, I'll link it below so you have it. Go back and catch up on what occurred there. But essentially, my soul decided that it felt safe enough to inhabit my body. After 37 years of me letting fear run the show. And it really, now looking back, makes total sense that I needed some time to grow over these last few years. I needed to dive into all this personal growth and development because I don't know that I was ready to actually lead the revolution that I am leading now. And I needed to become that type of person. I got so many glimpses of what was possible, glimpses of living in a home like my friend's friend was, right? Living in these kinds of spaces and living from my soul powered life. But what I didn't realize is I had so much deconditioning to do. And you don't know that until you're there. And it's like, I thought I already worked through this, right? I have a dark night of the soul after dark night of the soul. Like, what is happening here? And if you haven't been through this yet, then my love, get around people who will help you navigate it because it is not something that comes easily. And it's not something that I would ever want to navigate alone. At least that part of it, the dark night part. But in August, my soul decided to inhabit my body fully. And since I've been doing my Kundalini practices, I've realized that this is actually, and I've been researching the Kundalini. And what happened to me in August is what they refer to as the divine union of, essentially our ego and our spirit, where they finally realized that they're not separate from one another. It was a massive shift in my life. And since then, things have shifted massively as well. So I want to update you on what that looks like. Because what I'm realizing is that listening to enough of these other people who are making all the money, living all the, traveling, living their best lives, doing all the things, but living it in a fulfilled way, they actually are operating differently than how I've been over the last few years. And I decided that the only thing that I haven't done yet in my life is let my soul lead every single step of the way. And I've been doing this, right? Here we are on the Soul Powered podcast, talking about this, talking about letting our soul guide the way. And I think it's one of those things that I've realized that I was doing it, but I was resisting it during that same time. So I was doing the things that my soul was calling for me to do, but I was still afraid. I wasn't fully surrendered. I was still resisting. And I'm like, I don't know if we can do this. The world is not that safe. Like, we shouldn't be doing these things, right? Putting myself out there, being super visible, doing all of those things are not safe things for my nervous system because of my childhood and the traumas that I went through. And so when I decided that it's time to stop resisting, that's when everything really began to change. And a lot of good things have come to me even while I was resisting. And I want to mention this because there's somebody who's listening that's like, yeah, but it's so scary and I'm still resisting and I'm still afraid. Fear is going to be there for you no matter what. Like, fear is going to exist in your life until the day that you pass. The thing about fear, though, is fear doesn't have to be the driver of your decisions. So we can allow fear to be in the passenger seat of the car, but we just can't let fear drive anymore. And I was driving the car with fear in the passenger seat. But when fear would yell and scream because it was afraid, I would listen and I'd be like, okay, let me slow down. Like, are you sure? I would take a week to decide if I actually made the right choice or I was making the right choice. So you can kind of imagine that making decisions in this way would be very much like a stop-start type of, momentum. And the last few years have really felt like that for me. I'll get a lot of momentum and then I would still go into these pockets of fear. And then I would take a little bit of a step back. And then now, because I've been in masterminds and I've gotten support and I've been in therapy, all of those things have helped me to not dip as much as I did before. So I kind of see like a stock market image in my mind. So if you think about the stock market, like overarching, it's going up, right? Even though there's some blips in there, it goes back up and then there's a little blip and then it goes, and sometimes it comes all the way down, then it goes back up. So that's what I feel like the last few years have been like for me, is I'll go up and then I'd have a dip and then I go up, and those things are still going to happen. But now that I'm allowing my soul to guide the way, I'm seeing it more smooth. The ride's just more, It's more smooth. Like, I don't have to be so afraid because it's like a roller coaster. It's not a train that's going to run off the tracks. It's a roller coaster ride. Of course, you're a little scared on a roller coaster ride, but like you're surrendered, you're chilled. You're like, this thing's been tested a million times. Like, of course it's going to be fine. And so that's really the energy. Does that make sense? So I want to preface by saying that because there are people who are like, do I have to be perfect in order for this all to work out? No, you don't. I resisted for many years. I feel like at some points of my spiritual journey, I've been like, my higher self has almost been dragging me and I'm kicking and screaming like, I don't want to do this. Okay. So it's almost like, yeah, like a kid, think about it this way. A kid could be getting on a roller coaster, and even though it's safe, they could be kicking and screaming and not want to go on, not have a good time because they're so afraid, get off, and then be like, oh, I just wasted my time. Why didn't I enjoy that? Right. Or they could get on and just enjoy it and surrender and know like, hey, I'm with mom right now. And, this is safe. This is okay. And that's kind of what it feels like now. Since August, I've really been like, oh, this is a roller coaster. This is a game. Okay, I've got this. I can figure this out. So with that being the case, there's a lot that has changed about the way that I work with people, the way that I provide content, all of those things. And so let's talk a little bit about what those changes are so that you can see what to expect as we're moving forward. I decided to bring back, as you know, if you've listened to an episode before this, any episode before this, I decided to bring back the Soul Powered Society, which is a program that I launched years ago. It was a channeled program about how to live a soul-powered life. And then because I loved to resist back then, I downloaded the name, I downloaded the program, I created it, I sold it. It was amazing. And then I was like, is this the right thing? I don't know if this was the right thing. I don't know if I should have done this. I think I need to go back to just teaching about money. And so that's what I did. I tabled the Soul Powered bundle at the time, and I went back to my signature program, which was my Rise to Riches program at the time. And so I decided that back then my soul wanted me to teach in this way, leading with the soul versus leading with money. And I think because of my background being in money, having 20 years of experience in this and money being such a big part of my life, that I almost felt like I was supposed to be leading with money. And that's what people came to me for. That's what they want, right? They want more money. And what I realized over the last few months is, yeah, but they want the money for what? Because they want to live out their purpose on this planet. They want to live more. They want to live according to their soul. They don't want it just because they want it, because there's enough people who are teaching that. They want it because they know that it's going to help them impact the world in some way, whether it's their children, whether it's their spouse, whether it's their family, or whether it's on a big stage. It doesn't matter. They want to live out and have a bigger experience in this life. And so I've surrendered to that. And very quickly after surrendering, I created a workshop to be able to share this work with the world and share what the Soul Powered Society is and walk people through a powerful access to what it's going to be like inside the society. And I started running Facebook ads to it, and it's working. I have women coming in to the society every single week. Like, it's amazing. And they're incredible humans. I am loving every second of it so far. And it's so crazy because it feels so much more aligned. It feels easier. I'm getting downloads all the time. I'm getting things that are happening all of the time about ways that I can improve this collective membership. This is really about taking our power back from the systems that are designed to keep us broke versus just making money just to make more money, right? It's about how do we live fully and present and fulfilled on this planet while we're here. So I'm loving it. It's incredible. And I've decided that I'm not going to keep that open all of the time because I want it to be really women who are committed to this next level, women who are ready to also live by their soul power. So we're going to go really deep into my quantum recoding method. My expand program is inside of there. So you really learn all about the nervous system, how it works, how your subconscious mind works, how to be able to heal your relationship with your mind, your body, and your soul so that you can magnetize more. The quantum recoding method was designed to help you to learn how to magnetize more abundance from flow and not force. But it does that through teaching you how to recode your energetic blueprint for wealth. So we're not just looking at it from a nervous system perspective or a mind perspective. We're looking at it from the holistic, this is your entire energetic blueprint. So we're including all of those things in there because your entire energetic blueprint is not just, one small thing. We need to look at how do we recode it from a quantum perspective. And that's what the quantum recoding method does. So we had our very first call yesterday. I taught the very first aspect of this, and it was so fun and it was so exciting. And we did Q&A at the end, and we've gotten some breakthroughs that platforms like social media have been able to help us build rapport with someone, so much so that I can meet someone on a call for the very first time that I'm meeting them. And within a few minutes, we are integrating apart, or we are letting go of big blocks. And it's so crazy that we already have that much rapport to be able to do that together in such a short period of time because of things like podcasts and social media, to be able to get our word out there. It's just so exciting to me. And that was incredible. So the doors to the society are going to be closed. And I'm doing that because I want to focus on the founding members. I want to focus on the women who are inside of there, continuing to perfect this community. And so they're going to be reopening in January, I believe. Yes, January. So if you want to get on the wait list, then you will be the first to know when the doors reopen. But for now, the society is closed as we move into this next chapter of what content and social media creation will look like for the brand as well. So as I've been moving into this more soul-powered way of living and really allowing myself to fully surrender to what my soul wants, I've realized that it's really important for me to fully practice everything that I preach, that I can't be living out of integrity almost at all, because people who are in my world, they also feel things from a vibrational level. So if I'm not living in accordance with what I'm saying, people are going to feel that. So it's really been like, not that I'm trying to be inauthentic ever, but it's really getting nuanced and looking inside and saying, where are you out of integrity? Where are you saying one thing and doing something else, maybe not even on purpose? And one of the ways that I feel like that's come up for me is I decided that I wanted to start creating on TikTok again. And so a couple weeks ago, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm going to start to create again. And I'm like planning out my content days and my editing days and all of this. And I'm realizing, like, as I'm creating, that this is absolutely exhausting. And I don't want to pump out this much content. This is not how I want to spend my days and weeks. And I started like resenting the fact that I decided to do this again. And I'm like, okay, hold on, let's take a step back. And as the universe would have it, my mentor was hosting a virtual retreat, which was all around audience building and choosing your platforms you want to use. And he had a couple experts on there that were experts in long form content. Like this, the podcast is long form content versus, TikTok and short form content and YouTube shorts and Instagram and reels and all that. And it was just interesting that it was about the time I was feeling really burned out with TikTok again. And I'm just realizing the demand of some of these algorithms as it relates to short form content. And it kind of hit me that, like, what if this is just another way for people to stay in chaotic environments? It's like people want to leave their job because it's so stressful and they have to produce so much and they're exhausted by the end of the day. But then it's like we leave there and we go to social media where the algorithms just replace the boss. And we're like, okay, now I've got to produce, I've got to perform, I've got to act, I've got to do all this and pump it out at this level that, like, is just fucking exhausting. And it just hit me like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you feel like you need to create like this? And I had to really sit with like, what is that? What am I doing? What am I thinking this is going to accomplish? And I think that, the opportunity on TikTok is amazing. And I have personally seen tons of people blow up on there. And I know that my audience is there. And so I'm like, okay, well, probably that's what it is, right? Maybe that's why I want to be on there. But when I looked at it even deeper, I realized that I think that I was leading from the part of me that really liked being busy. Because if you look at the things that I'm required to do each day outside of this business, it's not a whole heck of a lot. I have a very free schedule and I don't have to do much during the week. So everything that I'm doing in this business is by choice, right? And I can choose how I want to create content. I don't have to do it the same way that everybody else is doing it or the way that I feel pressured to do it. I can choose my own way. And so leading into the new year, this leads me to the shifts that we're making. I have decided that it's just no longer in alignment for me to create and pump out short form social media content. And I've decided that I'm going to go to my main platform being a long form content platform like YouTube or my podcast. There will still be weekly shows for you every single week. Okay. One way or another, I'm going to get you guys the information that you need in order to transform your life. That's going to continue to happen. The medium for doing that may look different. And so I will keep you posted. My thought is that being that I am such a teacher by heart, I love to teach more than anything in the world. I have a special gift of taking these really big concepts in life and breaking them down into simple processes that you can use to shift your life, that are memorable. Like I just have the ability to do this and I'm realizing, am I truly using my gift in this world? Because some of these concepts, they take time to understand. And a short form video is like 15, 20, 30 seconds to like try to hurry up and get a point across. It doesn't really sit well with my spirit. So that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be creating. It just means the way that I'm going to be creating is going to change. And I will still be present on Instagram, but my mentor has always said, you want to choose one platform and you want to go 80% in on that platform. And then 20% of your efforts can be spent elsewhere. So that's what I'm doing. I'm deciding that I'm going to make the best, absolute best, either YouTube channel or podcast that exists on this planet, depends on what I choose. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make the best show and I'm going to make the best experience, the best visual experience for you. This is all going to change in the background. Okay. Even though it's a cute office, it's all changing. It's all shifting. And I'm excited. I really am excited. It's going to make my life a lot easier because we're going to have one long form piece of content every single week that's going out versus, a post a day and I'm creating on this hamster wheel. And if this resonates with you, I want you to look at your life and where you might be doing this too. Where are you putting yourself into more work, into more effort, into more things that you actually don't want to be doing? What are the things that are happening in your life that you're just doing because you're like, I've always done this, but I could actually delegate it. I could automate it. I could delete it. I could get rid of it. I could shift it. I could change it. So this is really the season that I'm in over these next few months specifically, is really systematizing things, getting things off of my plate, and then just making my life simpler so that I can show up and impact as many people as humanly possible, but that I still have a significant amount in my cup to pour from, because that's when I'm at my best. I'm not at my best when I'm depleted. Neither are you, right? We're all at our best whenever we are overflowing. And I'm just redefining what that looks like for me. And I want to use this as an invitation for you to do the same. Where is it that you are being called to lead more with your soul? Where are you telling yourself, I have to do this thing, even though you really don't have to? Maybe there's another way. I would tell myself, I have to be creating short form content. Is that true? Yeah, there are ways to go viral and to grow things quickly there, but what if quickly isn't the best for you? What if blowing up and exploding on social media is not actually the best thing for your nervous system? And I had to really think about that. Like, you're right. It's probably not, if we're being honest. I like to grow at a pace that my nervous system feels comfortable with. I don't see anything wrong with that, because I don't want to chase after all of these metrics that's basically having me do the same thing I was doing while I was working. Then why did I ever quit? Yeah, I like this work more, but anything can become work if you just are always doing it. I love what it is that I'm doing, but anything can become work when all you're doing is doing that. You can easily turn your passion into pain when you don't honor your soul in the process. So that's what I'm doing here. And I can't wait to share more with you as this unfolds. I thank you so much for holding space with me and being here today. It's been so exciting. I thank you so much for being here and just spending this time with me today. I don't take that lightly. And I'm so excited for what is coming, because you're going to see a new and improved side of me. Because now that I'm letting my soul guide the way, I'm more channeled than ever before. I'm more in tune than ever before. I have access to more information than ever before. And I'm going to bring that into this content so that you can really see what it's like to learn from me in a new way. Because I love talking as well. It's like also one of my favorite things to do is having a conversation. But there's more and deeper elements that I'm being called to go into with you guys. And not just doing that inside of my paid programs. I'm really feeling like this new long form platform is going to be, it's more of like, you are going to be working with me. It's more of, I'm going to be your mentor, even if you're not in any of my programs. You're going to learn these tangible things that are coming through me faster than I can even get them out, honestly, sometimes. I am so in tune, and I need to be spending more time in that space so that I can get the information and bring it to you in these meditations and all of these experiences that I go into, especially with like my Kundalini stuff. It's just incredible. And for anyone who practices Kundalini, I am actually on my very first 40-day cycle. So I've been doing this for months now, but I've struggled to do it every single day for 40 days straight. That's kind of like your first milestone in Kundalini. On Thursday, the 30th, is my 40th day. So it's the very first 40-day portal, which just recalibrates your nervous system. It's really incredible, by the way. Definitely do some research around it, Kundalini meditation, because it's been changing my life. And like I said, the woman who introduced it to me, she's doing pretty well for herself. And you could tell that she's just living in alignment with her soul's path. And I think that this next journey of where it is that I'm going is just showing me I have so much evidence now, so much evidence that it's safe to do this. And I'm going to keep sharing those things with you because I want you to see that it is. I'm getting opportunities like never before. I'm getting people into my world, incredibly aligned people and women in my world, more than ever before. I'm feeling more fulfilled than ever before. I'm feeling like I have to do less than ever before. I'm delegating more than I've ever done before. I have a new incredible online business manager who is like my right hand. It's just the things that are coming into play for me are absolutely everything. And I absolutely attribute it to following the inner guidance system that I've been resisting in the past and actually just allowing myself to surrender. Because life really can be this easy. Things really can be this easy. I didn't believe that before. But now that I'm living proof of it, you're going to see how this all unfolds in my life, because I want you to see that it's safe and I'm willing to go first. Okay, I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for being here. Bye. If you loved this episode, then why are you stopping here? The next level in your journey is waiting for you inside of the expansion experience. This is my free training that gives you the 5-step trademarked and proven process to break financial patterns, regulate your nervous system, and finally feel safe receiving more. Go ahead and click the show notes below and let's activate your next level together. And don't forget to follow, rate, and share this podcast if it lit something up inside of you. That's exactly how we build this soul-powered revolution together. Thanks again for showing up today, and I can't wait to catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.